the comments in some of our videos and shorts, they had to correct me. This isn't a arena fighter, it's the arena fighter. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero got a brand new trailer, got a whole bunch of, again, just a reveal. The speed versus power trailer showed off a whole bunch of brand new characters, well, returning characters and brand new characters to the series, as well as some new gameplay mechanics in their reveal showcase. Dropped off a lot of information for us to, you know, chew on while we were waiting for this game to release. And yeah, it's hilarious, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The Tenkaichi, you know what I'm saying, faithful, they're back in droves, bro. We're back online. But when from the footage, from the trailers, from the showcase, what did you make of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero?
I'm trying to find a way not to be offensive.
They was trying to cook you last time. They was trying to cook you on the comments last time, bro. I'm dead serious. Go in them shorts and look. It's like, what is this guy talking about?
I'm sorry to say, I don't really care for arena fighters. And it's not. I think this game, for what it's gonna be, is gonna be great. I think the casual arena fighter community, y'all gonna have a blast with this. I think this is gonna be really fun. Honestly, all I really care about for this game to be like a 9 to me, all I really care about is that we get full cutscenes, and I don't need like the full 30-minute episode, but I need cutscenes of the moments that I care about. Yeah. Like, I think Budokai 1 was probably my favorite one to do it the right way, which was like, hey, this is the Raditz saga. We're gonna show you the important cutscenes for this. We're gonna set up, like, if you don't want to animate entire episodes, I understand that. Put like a little wall of text, you know, some context before you show me the cool anime movie or whatever the fuck. Like, that's what I would want. I don't want this like Goku cutout standing next to Nappa cutout while Nappa says the line and then you jump into the fight. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. The reason I'm not super excited about this game is because it is an anime arena fighter. There's no talk about rollback. There's no talk about like it looks way more dynamic than the previous games though. Like, I will say that it does look like a very interesting game to play, and I definitely could see myself, like, if somebody comes over and they're like, "Oh, you want to play Dragon Ball Z?" Like, "Oh, absolutely." I will not be playing this game seriously in the least. If there is no single player mode, I'm not copping. I'll just watch whatever people have. Like, I'll watch some videos on it.
There's gotta be.
There's gotta be, but I could also see them hitting us with like Goku cutout standing next to Raditz cutout, being like, you can't fight me, Kakarot, and then loading into the fight. Like, it looks cool as shit though. I will say it looks cool as shit. I think the character variety looks really, really good. Like, the fact that it's not just like the characters look like they play different. I don't know what balancing is going to be like, but I'm sure that shit will probably be a nightmare. I really fucking love Hit. He's probably one of my favorite like new Dragon Ball Z characters, and his design looked crazy. I definitely, if I pick this game up, I'm definitely playing Hit in like whatever arcade mode or whatever they have for it. I just have a problem with arena fighters because they don't really. I play shit like Tekken. Yeah, I play shit like Street Fighter.
It's a lot sharper. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like a lot of shit like frame perfect shit matters. Like, oh man, you're too far from this to execute this, that, and the third. I have 100 different moves. I can use them to my advantage, to like their disadvantage. Like, there's a lot of shit going on. With this, I cannot imagine them making all of the Dragon Ball Z characters come into this game and everybody having exclusively different move sets. I feel like a lot of people are going to fit into certain archetypes, which is cool, which is fine. My biggest fear is that, like, what happened with like Xenoverse 2, I remember playing Xenoverse for the first time, not even Xenoverse 2, but Xenoverse 1, playing that shit for the first time. If I try to play PvP against the Saiyan, it was fucking over. Like, there was 3 moves they used. That was the best moves in the game. They spammed it because they had unlimited key charge. And I was like, yo, this shit is ass. And that shit didn't get patched for a long time because I played the shit out of Xenoverse 1. I love Xenoverse 1 and I love Xenoverse 2. I might go back. If I could get that shit for the low ski, I might cop that shit up because it was a fun time. Like, these games are really, really fun. But like, to me, I'm not buying Dragon Ball Z games to be, unless I want to, like, I'm not buying Dragon Ball Z games to be competitive unless it's Fighter Z. Like, and that's what I think is beautiful, is that Dragon Ball Z has fighters. So this doesn't have to be a super unique, like, it doesn't have to be a super sweaty fighting game. It can just be something for people who want to have an arena fighter, who want to relive their Dragon Ball Z fantasies, like all that shit. I think this game is going to be really, really sick. I loved what I saw. I love the new additions they added too to make the game a little bit more engaging, more dynamic. I can't remember what it was. I was like, I remember like watching it and like stopping it because I'm like, yo, they had these motherfuckers just like teleported behind each other like 3 different times, and then I realized, oh, they're using they're using key to do that. Like it makes sense. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks pretty dope. I'm excited to see what they have to offer, but I don't care about anything right now that isn't single player. I need to know what the campaign is like. I need to know if we're gonna be able to play through certain things. Like shit, if you can even put just from Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Z would be fine for me. But if you put all the fucking story content from Dragon Ball Z to Super, I'd buy this shit day one. I don't even have fucking money for that shit, but I'd find a way to get it because that's a really good fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, as somebody who is not, you know what I'm saying, that harping on the FGC stuff, I like what I saw. I really did like what I was watching and stuff in the showcase. So I can jump in just on the mechanics part and what they're changing. And again, of course, the game looks sharper. It's probably one of the best. It's probably one of the best. Visually, one of the best looking Dragon Ball games we've probably ever seen. Like it looks very, very good, very, very sharp. The attacks look crisp. The movement looks crisp. It feels very dynamic. I like the camera, as in like again, there's a bit of movement to it, but it's not like, oh, I'm shaking, having an absolute like panic attack or something like that in a car. You know what I mean? Like there's enough movement to where it feels dynamic, but it's not overbearing in my opinion from what I saw. May have to give it a second look, but that's what I got from it. And again, those skills that you were talking about was a big plus that I saw. Again, like the short dash, which like kind of adds to the dragon dash, so you can kind of like mix up. Again, you can mix up like if you want to be super defensive, you can add a dragon dash to a short dash and then just dash the hell out of there, or you can add it to your mix. You know what I'm saying? Like just closing distance, mixing up how you approach. You know what I'm saying? Distances with other people, because again, you're fighting in these big landscapes, so doing that to get away or get near to attacks can be very tactical. So I'm glad they added that. What's it called? There was the revenge counter, which is like you can like as they punch you can actually send one out if you have enough like I guess energy in a certain way and send a punch back and send a hit back. Which that's very cool. Again, very much akin to the entire story of what people do in Dragon Ball games. Like sometimes they'll get that shit off while you getting hit. It is what it is. My favorite one out of the bunch was definitely super perception, which again you can deflect beams, counter beams, do all that stuff. I really like love that. I'm glad there's like that. Again, that level of depth to it. And then there was like the vanishing assaults, which is like, again, you can like I think that was what you were talking about. Like, you can like, if you're fighting at mid range, you can just use some key and get right up close. And like, you just like kind of continue an attack. So different ways to approach different situations. And I feel like that is the name of the game in terms of a multiplayer aspect. How do you add enough variety to the gameplay itself and to the characters that you're bringing in to at least have some differentiable factors in gameplay each time? Because again, as much as I love, you know what I'm saying, the Tenkaichi series, Tenkaichi 3 is my favorite Dragon Ball game of all time, like many people out there, but I would be remiss without saying, like, everybody has the same inputs basically. Like outside of maybe like a couple people off the top of my head, I doubt it. You know what I mean? But it's basically the same. So if there's any way to create those points of difference in the gameplay, your approach, your strategy, that only adds to what this game's gonna bring. So I really like, again, those 4 gameplay mechanics that are, again, those tweaks that are added into the sets that's already there. Again, you already have the beam struggles there, they're coming back. You have, again, the transmissions that are, you know what I'm saying, like 3 or whatever. I'm not sure if those are. I don't think those are exactly vanishing assaults. They might be vanishing assaults, which would be like the 3, which like you can alternate and stuff like that, which could be a tweak from again the previous games. But anyways, the gameplay loop I am looking closely to, and from what I'm seeing so far, they're adding enough depth to at least make it tactical, at least make it a little bit more tactical, which is something I appreciate. Again, which is something people who are above my pay grade in terms of, they're like Gwen, who's like more into fighting games. He's more, what I'm saying, more tenured and knows how to approach a fighting game tactically. You know what I'm saying? That satisfies that group, at least to a certain extent, or at least opens the door to be like, okay, you guys are actually working on making this more of an approachable game from a competitive standpoint, which is good. And again, outside of that, like the character cast, bro, I'm just excited, bro. I'm very, very excited. And I feel like that depth of, we have everything from Dragon Ball all the way to Super, opens the door for so much stuff. Again, we saw hella people, man. Again, Kale hit, what was it?
Despo, I think his name is.
Dispo.
Topo.
Dispo, Topo. Like there's so much characters we can do, and I feel like what I enjoyed about that is that there are a lot of distinct attacks across the cast that we saw in that new trailer, and what I'm hoping is there's enough of that. Again, the points of difference, the ability to kind of feel different attacks, may have maybe a different combo, a couple of things to unlock themselves. You know what I mean? Like, again, everybody's gonna have the same base, of course, but I want to see a bit of that, those points of difference in each character, just even if it's a little bit, just to provide that little bit of authenticity to the character, and a little bit of distinctness for when people pick it up. Because I know me, when I played Tenkaichi 3, one of the characters that I'd always love to use, probably wasn't my top, but in my I'd say definitely my top 5, it was Birder. I love Birder, the fastest in the universe. I fucking love Birder. Like, again, I just love speed, so I was like, fuck it, I gotta use Birder. And so if we could make that translate, that would be that to me would be a W in my book, making the feel of Birder different to, you know what I'm saying, he can't feel like Jeez, he can't feel like anybody else at Guinea Force, like that, you know, the weight of him, the presentation of him, but also the usage of like the combos inputs. Hopefully there's a little bit more of a again distinctness and a separation between other characters when you get down to, you know, the deeper combos, his specials and all stuff like that, but we'll see. Outside of that, presentation, again, like we said, beautiful. When Birder and Jeez did their purple move and shit like that, that shit was sick. That shit was hype, bro. Was sick. Again, Broly looking crazy. Super Broly looked crazy. Kale looked crazy. All these attacks looked insane. Like, that's what I think I want to. That presentation level to get to like Naruto Ninja Storm, like Ninja Storm levels. I needed to really push there. You want that over the top. You want that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a crazy, you know what I'm saying, like super, you know, like sharp, intricate thing. I just want over the top presentation with mine. Like, that's what Dragon Ball is at the end of the day. So if you can showcase that, again, the distinctness of each character through those specials and how they're presented and how they look, you're doing a damn good job. So from what I've seen so far, I'm very excited. I was already excited before, but you know what I'm saying? For all the people in the comments, this is the Arena Fighter, baby, and I'm looking out for it.
And I don't, and again, like, I want to like say this, and I'm sure people will still not listen. I think this game is going to be really fun for what it is. Arena fighters are not my thing, but I do think that there is a place for this, and I don't even need them to like do so much, because like I remember playing Budokai and like just doing like the special battles of like, oh man, I gotta fight, like I can't remember what it was, but like I remember Budokai, like I remember more. No, it wasn't What If Saga. I think it was like Budokai 1. I remember like we would, in Budokai 1, you would go through the story and then you would go back through the story, but from the perspective of like different people. So like, you would go through the story as like Goku, but then you would go back and fight the Raditz as Piccolo. And like, you can honestly just do like exactly what you said, like the What If Saga in this game, and it would, that mode in and of itself would be cool. Like having a gauntlet of like, let's go from the weakest power level to the strongest power level. You pick a character, you got to play through all of them, and like we'll be making like as anime accurate as possible. So you're gonna have like fighting Kid Gohan, like all that. Like even if you did shit like that, like I don't need the gameplay itself to be super different, and I don't need like different full-on move sets for every different character. I don't need them to have different combo routes than everybody else, but it needs to feel different enough that you're not giving me like the same 4 dudes, but they just all look kind of different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my biggest takeaway from it, is that like I don't want them to half-ass this shit, because we just saw this episode. The first thing we talked about was a fucking cash grab that was off nostalgia. The last thing we would want is for everybody to be like, we're so back, and then it's another cash grab for nostalgia. And it's not like this would be the first cash grab from nostalgia from a beloved anime series that they did within the last year. Because let's remember, there is a Naruto Arena Fighter right now that people are not huge fans of, because they felt like, what? It was a cash grab. I don't think this is a bad time for this game. I think this game could be amazing. But I also don't think walking in it with the same level of like, nobody can be Goku mentality is the right call, because then you're going to be sitting there with like Sparking 03, and you're like, damn, it's kind of like the same game, but it's not really changing anything. Like that's my biggest fear. But again, I have my game. I have my fighting games. I will be fine. I will survive. I want the best for y'all, but hey, I'm not holding my breath for this company to do anything out of the box and to make this something that could be, because I think they have the potential, the capital, the funds, the manpower, but it's just about the wanting of doing that. I don't need this to be a tactical business move. I need this to be a good gaming move.
Yeah, but honestly, fully agree. If we don't have Devilman in this game, we riot. Automatic 4 out of 10.
If I can't fuse Hercule and Goku, I don't want it. Like that. That's what I need. I need that wacky shit from the old games that made you think like, what the fuck? This is so wild, but I'm cool that it's here.
100%. And again, it's like one of those games that can 100% deliver. It can 100% deliver. It's just, again, like you said, the will on the point of the company and the devs to be like, yo, let's push the envelope and really give them something that does Budokai Tenkaichi justice.